Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, spent his life unraveling the mysteries of the unconscious mind. While the world is familiar with his groundbreaking theories on archetypes, the collective unconscious, and individuation, few have delved into the more controversial, raw, and deeply unsettling observations he made about female psychology. In his private letters, unpublished notes, and lesser-known lectures, Jung revealed a side of his work that doesn't fit neatly into the politically correct boxes of modern gender studies. He did not seek to flatter. He sought to understand, and what he discovered shook even his own beliefs. This is not a condemnation of women. It is not a glorification of men. This is a confrontation with the unconscious, with the shadows that shape both sexes. Jung, more than any other psychologist, believed that we are not truly free until we face our shadow, the dark, repressed aspects of our psyche. For women, he found this shadow is as vast and complex as it is for men, but different. This script explores Jung's rawest insights into the female psyche, her anima and animus, her relationship to the masculine principle, her darkness and her light. What makes a woman lose herself? Why does she become destructive, manipulative, or cold? Why does she seduce and then retreat? Why does she attach herself to suffering, to drama, to the inaccessible man? These are not shallow stereotypes. These are patterns rooted in myth, in biology, in soul. Jung dared to see it, and now, so will we. Jung did not believe the feminine was merely soft, nurturing, and receptive. To him, the feminine was the gateway to chaos and rebirth. It was both Eve and Lilith, Mary and Callie. He saw women as vessels of transformation, but also of destruction. He spoke often about the anima, the feminine aspect within the male psyche. But equally, he studied the animus, the masculine within the female psyche. And it is here, in the animus, that Jung found a disturbing pattern. The unintegrated animus in a woman, Jung wrote, is not gentle. It is not wise. It is tyrannical, opinionated, cruel, and judgmental. Unlike the anima, which seduces with feeling, the animus attacks with thought. When not balanced, the animus turns a woman into a prisoner of abstract ideals. She becomes obsessed with control, moral superiority, or the desire to dominate emotionally. She becomes unable to love, not because she lacks feeling, but because her inner masculine is at war with the real masculine outside her. In this state, Jung wrote, a woman becomes cold. She tests. She withholds. She uses affection as a weapon. She is no longer receptive. She is armored. And yet, she still craves love, but only on her terms. This, Jung believed, was the essence of the unconscious shadow animus, a woman who seeks to conquer rather than to connect. But where does this come from? Jung traced it back to childhood wounds, to absent or weak fathers, to overbearing mothers, and to cultural narratives that teach women to fear submission. And so, the animus hardens. She learns to survive by becoming intellectually aggressive, emotionally distant, and spiritually superior. She reads Jung. She quotes Nietzsche. She may appear powerful, but internally, she is fragmented. Jung believed the solution was not repression, but integration. A woman must face her animus, must understand its source. Only then can be transformed from tyrant to guide. Only then can she relate to the masculine without needing to destroy or consume it. Jung also wrote of the archetype of the eternal feminine, the image of woman as muse, as goddess, as redemptive force. But even this, he warned, could become distorted. Some women weaponize their beauty, their sexuality, their softness. They become seductresses not to love, but to devour. She does not want the man, Jung noted in one private letter. She wants the power he projects. She wants to control the image of him inside her. This is why many men feel emotionally drained around certain women. It is not because the woman is evil. It is because she is unconsciously enacting a myth, a psychological possession. She is playing out the story of the devouring mother, the femme fatale, the siren who calls the sailor to his death. Jung's brutal insight was this: when a woman is disconnected from her soul, she becomes a conduit for collective, unconscious forces that use her to destroy men. But it is not just men who suffer. She does too. The unexamined woman becomes bitter, restless, anxious. She hops from one emotional high to another. She sabotages real intimacy. She mocks vulnerability in others while secretly yearning to feel safe. Jung saw this in patients across cultures. It had nothing to do with IQ, education, or modern feminism. It had everything to do with the inner world. When a woman is whole, she is terrifyingly powerful, but not in a destructive way. She becomes a mystery, not a problem. She inspires, rather than manipulates. She receives without demanding. She gives without losing herself. She loves without control. Jung's final verdict? Most modern women are spiritually starving. Not for men, but for depth, for meaning, for a connection to something sacred. In their attempt to be strong, many have lost the ability to be vulnerable. In their desire to be free, they have become enslaved to image, status, and emotional highs. In rejecting the masculine, they have also rejected their own feminine. So what is the answer? Jung would say, face the shadow. Go into the darkness. Speak with your animus. Write down his voice. Argue with him. Break the illusion that your thoughts define your worth. And for men, Jung's message was equally brutal. Do not idealize women. Do not expect them to save you. Most women are not looking for men to worship them. They are looking for men to mirror back their unresolved pain. If you are unaware, you will become the scapegoat for her inner war. Instead, Jung said, love her soul, not her body, not her charm, not her intellect. See what is beneath. Guide her if she allows it. Walk away if she does not. The unconscious must be met with consciousness. Anything else is codependency. Women, in Jung's view, are not weak. They are not inferior. They are not unstable. They are portals to the divine, but only when they are whole. He warned against the spiritualized ego in women, the illusion of enlightenment that masks deep insecurity. He warned against the mother complex in men, the need to be nurtured rather than to grow. In his Red Book, Jung even wrote of the feminine divine appearing to him not as a smiling goddess, but as a destroyer. She showed him that truth is not always kind, that love is not always soft, that to truly embrace the feminine is to embrace death and rebirth. And yet, he returned from that vision not broken, but humbled. Carl Jung's brutal diagnosis of female nature is not a condemnation. It is a call, a challenge, a fire to walk through, for women who dare to see themselves honestly, for men who dare to stop worshiping and start understanding. Because only then can we meet each other soul to soul, beyond the shadow, beyond the myth, beyond the mask. What Carl Jung saw was not female weakness. It was female power, unconscious, unintegrated, and therefore dangerous. But once awakened, it becomes the most healing force in existence. This is the feminine he truly believed in, and the one we must rediscover,